So this is Conejo Mountain from the Powerline Trail in Newbury Park, California. So this is at the start of the Powerline Trail. It's supposed to be moderately difficult, about 4 miles. The sign for the start of the trail is right here. The Powerline Trail is named after the power lines in the mountains that surround it and leads to the peak of Conejo Mountain after starting in a residential area and eventually gaining about 1,160 feet of elevation. This trail actually has about 1,160 feet of elevation gain, and it's 4.7 miles out and back, and it's supposed to have great views once you get to Conejo Mountain and also throughout the whole trail, as you can already see here. Even right after starting the trail, before you've actually gained any elevation, you still get some cool views of the mountains surrounding you. So the trail does start to go downhill for a little bit before we actually start gaining elevation. So far, it's pretty easy. The trail's wide, it's a little bit rocky, but otherwise it's fine. The views are still nice, and most of the plants around here are really dry because of the drought, but it's still nice. There really aren't any trees along this trail, and there are some native plants and shrubs along the sides, but most of them are pretty dried out because of the extreme drought in the area right now. So this isn't a side trail, but there is a little bit of a way to turn off the trail here for a second and get a nice look at this view here. And you can also see more of these power lines that the trail is named after on the mountain across. So normally this trail can actually get pretty hot in the middle of the summer or even in the fall, but I'm here at about 8 in the morning and it's only 60 degrees or so. It's really nice. It is October, but it's normally kind of hot here, but we've had a cool few days, so a good time to do this trail is definitely in the morning on a cool day. So you do pass by some houses on the first section of the trail, but after that, you can see right there below the power lines, it starts going uphill. When you come to a break in the trail here, going left would only go to a small viewpoint trail, and you go straight to continue on the main power line trail because this other trail behind you only leads back to the neighborhood. I don't know how well you can see this because the sun is right in front of the camera, but at this point the trail does start gaining some elevation as we start going up this mountain. And we've only been walking for about 10-15 minutes so far, so it's pretty close to the beginning of the trail. On this first half of the hike, you're only gradually gaining elevation, and we've got some good views of the Oxnard Plains looking back from the trail. So as the trail keeps gaining elevation as you're going up this hill, you do pass under another one of these high voltage power lines. There are a lot of these on this trail, And it's definitely what the trail is named after because they're absolutely everywhere here. There's another great viewpoint here. You can look back at the mountains that we've already walked through with the power lines that I just showed, and you can also get another great view down onto these farms, and on a clear day you might even be able to see the ocean in the distance. Don't know if you can see a faint blue line back there, but that would be the ocean. And I'd imagine this would be an awesome place to see the sunset, definitely on a clear day or pretty much any day. On this first half of the trail, looking in the other direction, you're also going to be getting some great views over Newbury Park and into the distance in Thousand Oaks. So in the morning, some parts of the trail will be in the shade because the sun is still behind the mountains. So another great reason to come here in the morning, because parts of the trail will be shaded and a lot cooler. The great views continue for the majority of this trail and make some awesome photo opportunities out into the distance towards the coast or towards Thousand Oaks. Looking back from the trail into the distance, you can even see the mountain where the Danielson Monument Trail and the Fossil Trail are. This hike definitely has some of the best views of all the hikes I've done in Thousand Oaks and Newbury Park. And it has such wide views that you can basically see in any direction that you want from all the viewpoints. At this point along the trail, you've already finished about 75% of the elevation gain, and you're getting pretty close to the peak. One of the few trees you actually do see on this trail is the laurel sumac, which you can see here, which is very drought tolerant and is one of the only green plants here in the summer and fall. So as we are coming to the peak here, this trail does get a lot rockier and uneven, but it's still wide and moderately difficult, I'd say, and you get a good view of these rock faces up in the distance and more good views over the valley below. So we've already done a good amount of the 1,100 feet of elevation gain on this hike, and getting some more great views down through the power lines and the mountains towards the valley below and the city and all of that. Once you finish the majority of the uphill section of the trail, there's a small flat area right near the peak where you can stop and take a break and enjoy the views. So I'm here at the end of the trail. This is super close to the peak, which is literally right there, except I can't climb that one rock face because there's no trail or anything there. But basically, this is pretty close to the peak. You get an awesome 360-degree view. Or not completely 360 degrees, but pretty great wide view here. You just can't see towards the coast that well because of the rock behind me. Aside from all the views over the valley and the areas below, you can also get a really nice view to the left of the surrounding mountain ranges. Once you've enjoyed all the views at the top, the way down isn't very steep and it's fairly easy and is about 2.5 miles back to the entrance. So for now, that's the end of this video on the Powerline Trail. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and if you did, please remember to like the video and subscribe, and if you're interested, go check out some of my other hiking videos.